I mean, I don't know. I don't have any idea. But they probably have an applause sign on one side, and they probably have a boo sign on the other side, like a Jerry Springer audience. So it's a crowd that doesn't know anything about what they're watching, but yet, you know, here they are every week on TV with this lame-ass crowd. They don't know anything. The crowd at the pay-per-view this weekend was very good. And they knew what they were watching. They knew they knew the chants. They knew all the everything. You know, I think that the crowds must be different for the pay-per-views than they are for the for the average TV taping on a weekday.
If you look out for some of those Impact cards, you can see a few staples of people that are usually there. But those are like the diehards, and unfortunately, their diehards compared to like the ECW Arena diehards are just like, you know, it's like they're diehard dorks. You know, they're real nerdy. You know.
Yeah, well, they are real nerdy. But let me tell you, Violence Jack, someone that's not nerdy, our big guest for this week. He's probably the top guy in California. Definitely the top guy in Southern California. He's got to be the top guy to me because I don't know anybody else from California that is the top of this guy. As here he is, Rock Superstar KAOS. KAOS, you there, buddy?
Yeah, hi. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Hey, well, we appreciate it too because if I tell you that you're the top guy in Southern California or the top guy in California, period, is that overstating it, or do you? I mean, and not in pro wrestling, you know, bravado, but do you really think? I think so, probably, because no one knows anybody else from Southern California or California. Do you think you're the top guy?
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely, I think I'm the top guy in Southern California, and you know, professional wrestling, period. I think that's part of professional wrestling. You need to have that little bit of ego coming in. You know, if you're a very passive guy, it's going to be a very tough business to get into. So that ego is something that you definitely do need to be a top guy in the wrestling business.
And before I go any further with this, and before I let Violence Jack throw in some of his stuff, I've been trying to tell one of your students, BFF Amanda, every time I talk to her, that's it. You gotta. If you don't have an opinion, you at least got to pretend like you do, and it's got to be very strong, and you got to at least, you know, you got to have that ego and that mania to be able to be a top person in it. And Santino Brothers, you're a trainer there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And you teach them that, right? You teach them, like, look, man, if you don't have an opinion on something, make something up, at least.
Definitely we teach them that, you know. Some guys come a little bit easier than others. You know, some we don't even have to teach at all, and they already know what they can do. And then, you know, some guys are just you know, I guess dreamers. You know, so there's a wide variety of guys that come into the school. But when we teach them at Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy, teach them everything, the ins and outs, and not just how to wrestle, but how to conduct themselves in the back, and teach them a lot of the politics that they're going to be getting into coming into the wrestling business.
Right. Well, connecting with the fans is the most important part, though. Like even the wrestling part, you could be a guy that gets beat every week, but you can still connect with the fans and you can still do really good. I mean, it works that way in wrestling. It works that way in MMA. You know, or it works that way in boxing. You could get beat every time. I mean, Thunder Gotti, by the end of his career, was getting beat every single time, but the fans loved him so much that it didn't matter. They would buy his pay-per-views. They would watch his fights. They'd pay tickets to see him, even though they knew he was going to get beat. You know, they knew he was going to get beat, but they loved him so much. And connecting with the fans has got to be the top thing that anyone's teaching aspiring wrestlers, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, selling your personality is number one. Your character, who you are, and then probably your physique is number two. Wrestling is probably the fifth or sixth down the line. That's something that's easy, I guess. What a lot of top companies can look at, that it's easy, and they can teach anyone to wrestle as long as they got someone with a look, a character, and a personality that they could sell, and obviously someone that could talk on the mic and capture that crowd. That's really what they're looking for, you know. Especially, you know, they're looking for an entertainer.
And I want to get to character for. Hey, hang on, Violence Jack. I want to get to character physique, but I do want to let Violence Jack get in on this thing I don't mean to keep cutting him off. We're having an amazing storm here in the Midwest right now, by the way. But Violence Jack, you go ahead and hit KAOS with your shit.
I just want to say you would not believe we were so close. We're telling BF Amanda, we're dangling the carrot. We're saying we're going to start this online petition to get you a tryout with TNA to be a knockout. We're going to do all the footwork for you because we believe in you. And we're like, so what do you think about that? And it's like, well, that'd be nice. It's like, no, get fired up. You got to be ready to go when you get there. Yeah, we can't get people signing this petition if you're not ready to go. You got to light a fire under her ass.
Yeah, definitely. I really wish that that Amanda would come to more training sessions than she does, and I wish that she would put in the extra percent, the extra 110% to go further. She's got a really good thing going for her. She's got the talent, but I think what she really needs to do is really focus on being the best. And it's too easy for her to get lazy. That's probably one of her biggest demons. So she really needs to focus on pushing herself to be the best and have that confidence, boost that confidence. Because if you don't have that, all the aspiring wrestlers out there, you're entering a business that's rough. It's it's a dog-eat-dog business. People are going to be laughing in your face and say hello and smile and turn around. They're going to talk shit behind your back. So that's just the way it is. So you really got to grow tough skin, learn how the business works, and really speak up, because like they say, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
That brings me to one other thing before Sensei takes the interview back. California obviously has a ton of talent, and you're right there, right above Mexico. Why is the national spotlight always drawn to the East Coast, and the West Coast can never really break through into the mainstream unless it's through like a WWE or like a Samoa Joe and TNA? Well, what is that about the West Coast promotions?
What I find out, being in the wrestling business right here in Southern California for the past 15 years, is it's a really tough market. It's a very diverse market, and there's a lot of entertainment out here. There's a lot of things to do out here. So really, wrestling is just really low on the totem pole when it really comes to Los Angeles or even Orange County, Ventura County, or San Bernardino County out here in Southern California. So it's a tough market, but that's not to say that there's not shows out here that draw massively. A lot of the shows that really do well are the lucha shows. When someone really promotes them, that's really what it's about is getting real promoters to promote pro wrestling shows. I think maybe far too often too many fans put their money together, get a ring, and put a show on. And
it's
they call themselves
fantasy booking on their part, and then
absolutely. So the lucha does really well out here. There's promoters that know what they're doing. Like Lucha Vavoom. There's FMLL. So there's a lot of good things going out here, and really it's a good market for lucha wrestling. But like what I tell my students, if you really want to make it, you got to go to where the work is. Depending if that's in Tennessee, the East Coast, so Florida, you really have to go to where the work is, and there's a lot of independent work on the East Coast compared to out here in California.
And this brings me to the question: why does KAOS not hit Florida or hit Ohio Valley? Or are you looking to get into TNA or WWE at this particular point, or are you just kind of sitting back and just training, or what? Because to me, when I see your new character developments and stuff like that, from the old Kid KAOS to Rockstar KAOS and this new Barbarian character to the Painted Face character, what is your future outlook? Do you think you're gonna? I can imagine that TNA or WWE would it look for you?
You know what? I really think that's the goal, for myself, is to really get out there, get noticed, get recognized on the mainstream level like TNA or even WWE. I think what I'd like to tell people is I think I have a lot more road behind me than I do in front of me. But then at the same time, I do have a lot to offer to the wrestling business. I think I've been sitting back for the last couple of years, and sidelined by an ACL injury. I'm really coming off of that, and I'm really looking strong to kind of give it my I guess it's never going to be my final hurrah, but really my final hurrah to really test myself to get myself out there.